The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog and join the Progressive Army. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
you're now about to witness the truth.
It's the Benjamin Dixon Show.
Yep. Welcome to the Benjamin Dixon Show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Benjamin Dixon. Or tonight, it's not so much the... sorry. Let me take this gum out my mouth. Tonight, it's not so much the Benjamin Dixon Show. This is the truth about the BLM kidnapping. That's what tonight is all about. Because, well, there's this thing. There's this controversy that is actually broadcasting on two different frequencies today. One of them is significant. One of them matters. One of them is something that we should discuss, and we'll call it what it is. And the other one is bullshit. That's all. I mean, I don't even feel like trying to finagle fancy words to describe, or not even fancy words. I don't even feel like breaking down the illogical nature of the second frequency. Not yet. It's just total, complete bullshit. And if you've been stuck under a rock today and haven't been watching the news, because this has been all over the news, because this fits the narrative of so many media outlets. I took my kids to McDonald's after school, which I don't know why I did that, because McDonald's sucks. But anyway, it was convenient. I went to McDonald's and all over the TVs in Massachusetts, all over the TVs, not a single cartoon was on. All they had on was the press conference from Chicago about the Black Lives Matter kidnapping. So I don't know. If you haven't heard about it, then I'll bring you up to speed as much as I can. Anoa Changa, my homie, my sister from another mister, she's going to be joining me later on, so we could talk about some more of the nuances about this. So the very real thing that we have to discuss is the fact that there was, and just to be sure, I don't see what the big deal is about categorizing what these four Neanderthals did. And I call them Neanderthals because that's what the hell I want to call them. I don't see what the big deal or the difficulty is calling what they did a hate crime. If for no other reason, it was committed against a disabled American person, human being. Right? So anyone who makes a big deal one way or the other, oh, this was not a hate crime. No, it was a hate crime. It was a hate crime. From all indications, from everything that we see, it was a hate crime. So call it a hate crime. What's the big deal? It's a hate crime, right? I know a lot of people get stuck. Oh, can you commit a hate crime against white people? So if you're stuck on that, then he was a disabled person. Surely, I mean, the law includes disabled Americans. So, it is. Boom. And you have four people who were idiots for doing it in the first place. And I'll pull their names up. I don't, whatever. Let's call their names and I'll pull their pictures up. They're idiots for doing it in the first place. And they're idiots for broadcasting it. Like, how dumb can you actually be to broadcast your crime, and not a crime of this, not even magnitude, but this type of crime, and think that this is going to work out well for you? So they're clearly a group of idiots. And let me just double down. Let me triple down on these four. Because they come from Chicago, and don't get me wrong, there's crime everywhere. There's murder everywhere. There's black on black crime everywhere. There's white on white crime everywhere. There's Hispanic on Hispanic crime everywhere. People who, black on black murders, white on white. People kill people that they know. So everyone who's tripping over, black on black crimes, white people kill white people at about the same rate that white people do. But that's not the point of tonight's conversation. Tonight's conversation is about these four idiots from Chicago who really, I hope they get everything they deserve. Because I personally just I cannot stand bigotry, stupidity, and just a lack of humanity. right? So if you fall into one of those three categories, I have no sympathy for you, even if you share my skin color. Go to hell. So I have no sympathy for these people because they both fall into I think all three of those categories: bigots, idiots, and I forgot already what third one you might remember. So I have no sympathy for them. I have even less sympathy for them because they hail from a city, and then maybe this makes me bigoted against Chicago, but they hail from a city that is a scourge in terms of black-on-black violence. Like, yes, white-on-white crime happens everywhere in the world, but Chicago, like what, 1,200 people? Not 1,200. I'm sorry, it's about 800 people. I don't even know. Hundreds of people killed. So I have no sympathy for the imbecility, if that's a word. If not, I just made it up. I have no regard for these four cretins. Charge them. Here's the difference, and not actually, nope, pause. I'm not even going to give you the difference yet. Because there is a difference. Actually, no, I'm going to give it to you now. When black folks do stuff, they get arrested, they get charged, and they go to jail. Shit, when black people don't even do things, they get arrested, they get charged, and they go to jail. Not only that, we have a history in America when black folks are innocent. Not only do they get arrested, they get charged, get arrested, whatever the order is, get found guilty, they go to jail, and then they get executed in America. And then we find out after the fact that they were in it. So that's the difference here, right? There was a white student who raped, sodomized with a hanger, a disabled African-American man. And he pled guilty and got out without going to jail. So everyone who's like, oh, this is such a great injustice. It's an injustice if they don't get arrested, but their asses are in jail right now, tonight, getting ready to be charged or already have been charged with a hate crime. Justice and the mechanisms of justice, I can't even think of the phrase I'm thinking of right now. It's already in motion. The wheels of justice are already in motion. There you go. So for all of you white supremacists and white dog whistlers and all of you people who are like, oh, this is such a shame and black people get away. What the fuck are you complaining about? They are arrested and in jail, and they're going to probably be found guilty because there's video. They're going to spend a long time in jail. Show me the injustice. Injustice comes on the heel of a system that does not prosecute or find guilty people who are guilty. Injustice for for a lot of Americans, injustice is O.J. Simpson. Not for me, because I cheered. I was a kid in high school. Injustice is Darren Wilson, who didn't even go to trial. Like, we can't even get white people to go to trial for the shit that they do. But that's not what I want to talk about first. The first thing I do want to talk about is the fact that these four morons, I hope they get exactly what they deserve. I have no sympathy, empathy otherwise. I don't identify with them. I could care less. I could care less about what they get as long as they get proper justice. Any questions? White supremacists? Not that I give two shits about satisfying you, but we're gonna nullify and neutralize your little bitch baby argument up front. Are we clear? If you're not clear, 857-600-0518. And I don't want just the ragtag, trolls. I want these big mouth people like Glenn Beck. I want these people like whatever the John Watson, whatever the British troll is, not even American, the prison planet from Infowars, right? I want these bigots who build these straw men and are just as much a race baiter as they would ever think Al Sharpton is, make just as much money off of peddling racial hatred. I want you to say something. People like Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder, cornball. Cornball is what I call him. Cornball who backed out of his debate. All of you Sargon of Akkad or Akkad or whatever the hell you call yourself. All of you people who make these straw men in order to have something to say so that you can feed the dog whistle audience that you have, and sometimes it's a straight out neo-Nazi audience, Richard Spencer. All of you raggedy cornball white supremacists who want to build a straw man, rewind the tape and then kiss my ass. All right, now that that's out of the way, just warming up here. Here's the truth about hashtag BLM kidnapping. The truth about it is it was started by a white supremacist who has zero regard for the white disabled man who was hurt and assaulted. It was started because he wanted to have his article go viral. That's where it started from. You want proof? I'll pull up proof from my timeline. You can go to my Twitter timeline. The very first mention of the hashtag was an Infowars article. Now, this does not negate what actually happened. And if you're intentionally obtuse and you can't handle the nuance, right, then I suggest you go and get a 5th grade education and come back and see me again. Because this operates on 2 different frequencies. The real crime that happened and the real false accusations, the false associations, the desire to have their article go viral, the desire to be racial instigators while simultaneously feigning as though they are not racial instigators. That's the 2 wavelengths that this story operates on. And the fact of the matter is that they are more than happy to use white bodies. Of course, they'll use black bodies. They have no problem using black lives to score clicks. No problem using it to score political points. No problem using our lives to forward a political agenda that wants to uphold the white male Christian power structure in America. They have no problem doing that, but they will also use the lives of white people, their own brethren, erase the real trauma. Ask any of them if they know this man's name. Ask any of them if they know the names of all of the officers who were killed by white supremacists in 2016 alone. White people killed more police officers in 2016 than black people ever did. And yet, they create these narratives of it's an all-out war from Black Lives Matter against the police, racial war. And you get Alex Jones, and I know I'm a big guy, but that fat, ugly motherfucker, this insane cornball, like, he's one of the lamest dudes I've ever seen in my life. And the most, I will give him points for being a great actor. I'll give him points for being like WrestleMania. But I don't do this for a living, but I do this enough to realize you can only perform to the extent that you believe it. So you have people like Alex Jones, you have people like his whole entire cohort, his entire ilk, who are more than happy to have no regard for the white police officers who have been killed by white supremacists because it does not forward their narrative. They don't even know the name of this young man who was assaulted. They don't care to know the name of this young man who was assaulted. They don't care to know the situation. All they care about is getting clicks off of their audience and making their articles go viral so that they can pay their little raggedy bills and pay for their meth addiction or whatever they struggle with. Because they're clearly not operating with a full set. And I won't dare blame it on mental illness. I blame it on opportunism. I blame it on some type of drug addiction because they have lost their fucking minds at Infowars. But the point is, they have no regard whatsoever for the white lives, right? They don't even know their names. They don't care to know their names. They don't care about justice. All they care about is using any opportunity they can to score political and financial points. And this is just, what happened last night, or what came out last night, when it happened, They had no concern whatsoever that it had absolutely nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, other than the fact that they knew that they can score points with all of the rabidly racist, the dog whistle racists, and the ones that are not too sure if whether or not they're racist or not, but they have these deep-seated suspicions of Black Lives Matter because, because all lives matter. They knew they could score political points, and that's what they did. Knowing full and damn well had zero to do with Black Lives Matter, other than the fact that they were black. So clearly we should read into this, right? Clearly we should use our intelligence that they don't believe we have and understand that if they're blaming Black Lives Matter for the actions of people who are in no way affiliated with Black Lives Matter, nor did they reference Black Lives Matter, then the only common denominator is the fact that they're black. And if they are black and they've done something wrong, then clearly they must be affiliated with Black Lives Matter. No regard whatsoever to all of the positive things, all of the things that Black Lives Matter does, and not just Black Lives Matter as an organization, but the people who rally behind it as a battle cry, as a call to protest, to oppose systemic oppression. Never mind all of that. You do something wrong, oh, your Black Lives Matter. And then they say, oh, well, we're not blaming all black people. We're just blaming Black Lives Matter. No, you're blaming all black people who are crazy enough to organize and protest systemic racism, white supremacy, and oppression that still exists in the United States. Oh, no, there's no such thing as white supremacy. That's reverse racism. No, you demonstrated your racism when you drew a false equivalence between people who are black with a black organization, and they must be the same. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that we're race baiting when you are clearly demonstrating your propensity to not only race bait, not only erase the importance of the disabled white man who was hurt today, but also to make money off of drawing this false equivalence. So congratulations to all of you out there who are, and the reason I titled it, let me finish that thought. The reason I titled it The Truth About Black Lives Matter is because it started with Infowars. It started with, who's this, Paul, I can never remember this Brit's name. I can't remember his name. Paul Joseph Johnson, the guy who thinks so little of his audience. He thinks so little of his audience. He thinks that he could and actually, he's right. His audience is so dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, he starts every video about the truth about Pizzagate, the truth about, I can't even do a British accent. Maybe I'll get a clip of Doctor Who, right? The truth about Hillary Clinton's emails, the truth about, of course, my audience is going to love that one, right? But the truth about, Hillary Clinton's alien baby. That's what Infowars specializes in. Not only do they specialize in that drivel, they also specialize in erasing every American tragedy and playing to the false flag following on YouTube. The people who don't believe 9/11 actually happened. The people who believe the earth is still flat. The know-nothings, the people who claim that Sandy Hook was a false flag and those were actors, or the people who believe that the Boston bombing was a false flag and those were actors and nobody really died, right? This is what they make their bread and butter off, the conspiracy theorist audience, the conspiracy driven psychosis. That's what they make their money off of. Where would they be? Where would they be? Where would Alex Jones be and the people who created this hashtag? Where would they be if their audience wasn't as moronic as they need them to be? And I would say I don't mean any offense to their audience, but I do. I'd be lying my ass off if I said I don't mean any offense to their audience, because you guys empower it. You empower it. And these are the same people, right? These are the same people who believe that there's a police state. They believe that Obama's coming to get their guns so he can institute a police state, but they don't believe that there's a police state in the black community. Anyway, all the while in the backdrop of Dylan Roof, right? all in the backdrop of a man who said, I kill those black people because I wanted to start a race war. And yet these are the same people who try to erase the white supremacy of Dylan Roof. The same people who try to pretend like he was just mentally unstable. Dylan Roof just told you bitches on yesterday there's nothing wrong with his brain, that he is not mentally unstable. He rejects psychology as a Jewish conspiracy. He rejects it, and he has no remorse for what he did. Yet and still, you have these white nationalists, and not even just white nationalists. You even had NPR this morning, which might, at some intersection, might have some commonalities. You even had NPR this morning saying, we don't understand. Why would he do this? What are his motivations? Bitch, he just told you he wanted to start a race war. So in the minds of people like that, the only people who can be racist in America are black people who complain about racism. Here's this. I'm just trying to find this dude. Paul Joseph Watson. This dude. That's the dude from Infowars. And he calls himself... he changed. He's the editor at large for Infowars. Like, that's like me saying I'm a personal trainer at LA Fitness. Like, the fuck? Come on, bruh. Infowars does not even warrant an editor. Like, what are you editing? You're not even editing grammar at Infowars. What are you editing to make sure that they have the right number of references to chemtrails in their articles? I mean, bruh, come on. Editor at large for no. You are just their lead propagandist, Paul. Hang on, let me see if I can pull up some stuff. Let me see this caller. Caller, turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to me on the internet or whatever. Give me your name, comment, and or question. And while I fix something over here.
Can you hear me?
Bryce, what's up, man? I can hear you.
Bryce, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, man. What's on your mind?
Okay. Yeah, so 3 quick points, because I know I tweeted you early about the whole Kim Burrell stuff and all that's going on. Also, and basically there's 3 points to what's going on. It's like, one, what took place obviously was horrible, and they deserve the charges, and they deserve, to get the full set of the law. But that also is not good coming into this climate with Trump and racial issues. I understand that we need to fight back, but there's a point where if we do things like that, it's not helping our situation and makes things worse. Number 2, of course, you're going to have all the racists and people, the nationalists, and all the morons that was on Twitter this morning talking, about, white supremacy is just a clutch. Black people, y'all stop complaining, all this crap. And it's just sad, it's sickening. And it's just like, really? Like, and then you claim to be this type of person, and you're just full of shit. And it doesn't make any sense. And then leading into, and it's true, and then leading into the whole Shirley Caesar Kim Burrell stuff that happened over the past couple of weeks, it's just mind-blowing. It's just like whole priorities are just all over the place. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been avoiding the Kim Burrell conversation, but maybe I'll talk about it a little bit later on. But thanks for the call, Bryce. So here's your boy. Let me see if I have audio for this. This is Paul. He calls it, yes, mainstream fake news media. There's a clear connection between violence and anti-white Black Lives Matter. Let me put this. What number is F12? There you go. We'll use that one. Here you go. Here's Paul. Whatever his name is. Can I do this?
We have these headlines. Chicagoist. The BLM kidnapping hashtag makes a horrific tragedy even worse. Right, so a hashtag is even worse than the kidnapping of a mentally disabled boy.
You don't give a shit about the disabled boy, so stop feigning as though you give a shit. If you gave a shit, you would just call this a hate crime. You would call this the Chicago hate crime. You would call it a whole number of things, but you are an attention whore, Paul. That's all you are. And you're not even brave enough to come over to the States. You hide in your basement in London, maybe. I don't know. Here we go. Listen in.
The torture, the 48-hour torture of him. Okay, a hashtag's worst. All right. Gizmodo. alt-right trolls use Chicago kidnapping to spread lies about Black Lives Matter. So basically they're saying, and the police, the Chicago police, who have come out with some absolutely ridiculous statements, by the way, are now saying, oh, this has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Do you think for a second, if 4 Trump supporters had kidnapped an 18-year-old disabled black kid for 48 hours, tortured him and racially abused him, that the media would say that had anything whatsoever to do with the alt-right? Well, of course they would. The difference, of course, is that that's not happening. All the hate crimes blamed on Trump supporters are hoaxes faked by leftists.
Really?
On the flip side,
Just like Sandy Hook is a hoax, just like you know what, the Boston bombing, marathon bombing is a hoax. Everything's a hoax. Everything is a false flag. Everything is fake news to people like this, except for news that fits their narrative. This is Infowars. And the reason I'm playing, hang on, let me take him off my screen. The reason I'm playing his clip is because he's the guy who started the hashtag, which has zero connection. He still yet have proven that there's any ties to Black Lives Matter. And then he said, well, if there were, I can't do it. One day I'll learn a British accent so I can mock the fuck out of this bitch. But excuse me, I'm sorry. I need a bleep there. Maybe my editor will go back and put a bleep there. But then he says, oh, if these were 4 Trump supporters, then you think they would have any ties to the alt-right. Well, you just established that they were Trump supporters, right? You know, not to mention it's an entire straw man, but you identify them as Trump supporters. Would they have any ties with the alt-right? I'm not even going to argue your straw man. You still have not proven that this has any connection to Black Lives Matter. All you're doing is saying, I know you are, but what am I? Like, if the roles were reversed, they would have done the same thing to us. Just because, you know, he needs his audience. All of them, Alex Jones, Infowars, Sargon of Akkad, all of them needs their audience to be as dense as they are. He goes on. Let's listen to him go on. Here we go.
BLM-inspired violence is happening. It's happened over and over again. You had people murdering cops. In Dallas, he directly said he wanted to kill white people.
Yeah, so did Dylan Roof, but you guys erased his motivations, you and your comrades at Fox News, and try to make it about religious persecution. See, these people need to be victims so bad, ideologically, but financially. They have a financial investment. They're financially vested, rather, in this narrative because it pays their fucking bills. That's exactly what it does. He titled this, you know, the clear connection to Black Lives Matter, but he's yet to show us how this has any connection to Black Lives Matter. But his audience is eating that shit up. Let's listen to the rest. Maybe he says it later on. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's listen.
They plotted to bomb the Ferguson police station. Ishmael Brinsley, the killer in New York, said he shot 2 cops in the head as a Black Lives Matter revenge attack. Documented examples of this anti-white racial narrative that's been created by Black Lives Matter, supported by the media, and it leads to situations like this. Yes, there's an obvious connection. Black Lives Matter is not a group. It doesn't have a headquarters. It's an ideology.
Black Lives Matter is actually an organization. Go ahead. I'm sure you're going to do it, Paul. Define the ideology for us, just for shits and giggles. I call it shiggles, just for shiggles. Define the ideology for us.
Ideologies lead to actions. It's an extremist ideology. It's a racist ideology, and it's leading to racist attacks against white people.
And this is the exact language. This is the exact language that Dylan Roof used as his justification for killing, not kidnapping, not assaulting, but killing 9 people, for which he is not remorseful. He is espousing the same exact vitriol that this cowardly piece of shit. Yes, Paul, you and your entire crew, you and your entire family of YouTubers and Infowars, all of you are cowards who hide behind your computer and spout off the most racist. You try to dog whistle it from time to time, but you just can't hide it. It escapes out. And you know what? People like Dylan Roof latch onto your words, and he takes actions that have ramifications that change the lives of 9 families. But yet you get on, your screen here, and you feign as though white people are the victims here. All of white America is in jail. You're not even America, but we'll talk about that later. All of white America is in danger from this racist ideology of Black Lives Matter, who have organized to tell the police to stop shooting unarmed black people. Yeah. Or we have organized to identify and diagnose the lingering vestiges of slavery and white supremacy. Yeah, that's racist as hell, man. Yeah. The only people who are racist in America are the people who are calling out racist. And this, elitist Brit, it's not even in America. I mean, are politics in England that boring? Can you not make a living? Paul, let me put you back on my screen. Can you not make a living on politics over there? Or do you just see how lucrative racial animus and hatred is in America? Let's see if he defines. I'm still waiting on that connection, Paul. Let's listen.
No matter how many headlines you put up, being outraged about my tweets about that is a fact.
What?
We have these headlines.
What fact? You didn't give us a fact, Paul. You gave us nothing. You gave us nothing, and yet you think it's everything. And I will applaud this, though. If I had an audience, let me start that sentence over, because I'm not even going to insult my audience even tacitly. I will give you this. You've cultivated an audience ignorant enough to buy your bullshit. Congratulations. Anyway, I'll talk about Sargon of Akkad in a minute. I sometimes I like Sargon, but most of the time. Caller, you're live on the air. I want some surprise calls tonight. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Hey, this is Joel from New Hampshire.
Joel from New Hampshire, what's on your mind?
Hey. So I had a couple quick comments. I tuned in kind of late, so hopefully you didn't say this stuff already, but then I also have a question for you.
Go for it.
So the first comment was, I saw it was, what's his name, Michael Chernovich, who kind of started this whole thing of it being a BLM-connected kidnapping. And I just want to put out there that this is the same dude last week who took an anti-child trafficking law from California and spun it that it was legalizing child prostitution. So that's basically the guy we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you heard about that one, but
No,
that was like, I think right around New Year's.
No, I didn't, but I'll take a look into it. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It was basically making it so they couldn't prosecute people, kids who were trafficked. And he turned that into, they've legalized. So that's this guy. But then the question I wanted to ask you was kind of your thoughts on something I've been noticing lately with a lot of the right-wingers, is they don't seem to understand that there's a difference between, and this kind of ties into what you're talking about, because it was on actually one of your threads that I kind of noticed this. They don't seem to understand the difference between leftists and liberals, or even centrists.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering, maybe we shouldn't kind of push them to understand that, because it's kind of a weak spot. So I kind of wanted to know what your thoughts on that are. Like, they kind of conflate, an elitist politician like Hillary, or even the thing I was noticing on your thread was they kept talking about D-Ray. And, I like some things about him, but he's got some stuff I don't like the charter school thing, and he's obviously got a lot of critics on the left. But I'm looking and I'm like, they think this guy is like the most radical person in the U.S. So it's like, maybe we shouldn't tell them. Like, maybe we should just let them think that and kind of blindside them in 2020 or 2018. I don't know. So I kind of wanted to hear
No, I actually dig that. I wasn't following you at first, but I dig that because they think Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton are socialists. Like, wait till they get a load of us. They have no effing idea what they're getting ready to come up against. If they think the worst thing they've ever fought was Hillary Clinton, I like that point. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. 857
Yeah, no problem.
600-0518. That was actually, I like that. Let me bring something else up on the screen. This is from Sargon of Akkad. Let's see if I can do it here. Nope, I have to do it over here. He tweeted this morning, the silence from the usual progressive race-baiting outlets over hashtag BLM kidnapping is deafening. Now, before I read the glorious tweets that followed, I'm on Twitter. I guess I'm a Twitter bully because I don't care. I just come for you. I don't care who you are, how many followers you are. Shit. Like, I would love to go head to head with anybody. So I'm trolling. I'm looking, and I find this, and I'm getting ready to clap back on him. Little did I know, his audience already snipped and put him in check. It's beautiful. Watch. Look at it. Revolution, he said, have you found a direct link between any of the perpetrators and Black Lives Matter? Sargon of Akkad replies, I have no idea what their affiliation is. Then Al Puccini, love these names, he said, so you're just using the false association hashtag just for fun. Got it. Kudos to his audience, man. See, that's the kind of audience I want. I want an audience that's smart enough to call me on my bullshit. Because, every now and then I tread over lightly into some bullshit. I mean, all of us are definitely capable of doing it. And I want an audience who can call me on it. So I will say this to Sargon, hey, you got a great audience. You got people who are going to call you out on your bullshit. But even more importantly than that is the opportunistic nature of these people who are more than happy to use a false accusation, a false association hashtag to defame and deride a movement that's simply fighting for equality and fair treatment in front of the law. And, that's what they're fighting for. They have no problem creating this false association for their own gain and for their own clicks. That's what they do. And while they do it, they feign as though they're the victim. They feign as though we're the ones who are doing the race baiting, and yet they are constantly feeding their audience constantly feeding them this about that Black Lives Matter is a extremist ideology. And if you think, let me pick it back off of what that caller just said. If you think DeRay is an extremist, bruh, oh my, DeRay, like, no offense to DeRay, but DeRay is about milquetoast as they come. I mean, all DeRay says is that, I love your blackness and mine. All he says is, we want the police to stop killing us. You think that's extreme? You don't want to run in the circles that I, at sundry times, intersect with. I run in some circles where I'm like, yeah, y'all have lost your mind over here. Like, white supremacy is a real problem, but you motherfuckers are crazy. So if you think DeRay is an extremist, Sargon and Paul Watson, whatever, I can never remember that dude's name. Crowder, you think those are extremists? Oh my God. Somebody please send me on Twitter real quick. Jack Nicholson as the Joker saying, wait till they get a load of me. Oh, cause holy shit. You guys haven't seen anything. You think Barack Obama is a socialist? You think, oh man, this is going to be, it's almost funny now. It's funny now because they have no idea. They have no idea what they're dealing with. And they have no idea, not from the perspective of that we're someone, well, yeah, you should be afraid of us, but not afraid of us for the reasons you think you should be afraid of us. They think they should be afraid of us because we're thugs. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will bitch slap. I'll say a lot of words. I'm not going to say the N word in front of you guys. That's for politics and grits. If necessary, yeah, bitch slap a bitch. But you don't have to fear us because we're thugs. You have to fear us because we're sharp as shit. Like, I mean, we would dissect your argument on the fly while chewing gum with the Cavassier in our hand, playing Mortal Kombat. We will eviscerate you with our eyes closed while we're sleeping. We'll wake up in the middle of the night and dissect your straw man right in front of you and leave you your argument butt bare naked with your guts on the floor. You should be afraid of us because we are smarter than you. And we have zero fucks to give. That's why you should be afraid of us, not because we're thugs. Shit, I'm almost done with my PhD. My girl Anoa is an attorney. Brandon is almost done with his PhD off of Project Sanity. Like, we have no need to use physical violence when our intellect is far more deadly to your purposes and to your agenda than physical violence will ever be. Now, I do have some comrades who disagree with me and think that I'm milquetoast. Let's just be clear. Let's be clear. I'm not even the extremist, and I'm a socialist. I'm not even the extremist in this conversation. You think DeRay's the extremist? I laugh in the face of DeRay being an extremist. And at the same time, I have some comrades who look at me and say, Ben Dixon ain't about that life. Ben Dixon ain't about a real class war of the proletariat rising up and seizing the means of production. And they laugh in my face. So you might want to deal with us, because we got some boys over there and some girls. I mean, some non-gender conforming people over there on the left that are ready to take your shit and nationalize it. I mean, guys, for real. y'all aren't prepared for this. Oh, I'm looking over here over my phone. Anoa is here, but no, I don't see a video. You got a video for me? Okay, maybe you don't have a video. Let me pull your audio up. All right, folks, I'm joined by my sister, Anoa. How's it going, sis?
You didn't send me the link.
Well, we're not doing Hangouts. We're doing Skype. Can you Skype in real quick?
Oh, yeah, I'll Skype you right now. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, so connect with Skype. All right. So many other things to talk about. I'll talk about them in the bonus show on tomorrow. We're going to talk about the DNC hack information. We're going to put that on the bonus show tomorrow. I have like 4 stories that I couldn't cover this week that are really good stories that need to be covered. I'll put that on the full hour Friday bonus show for patrons. If you want to get access to that, man, I was playing around with my gum to the point it's all over my hands. If you want to get access to the bonus show, go to patreon.com/the BPD show. And you can get access to all the stories. So, because apparently tonight is only going to be about the Black Lives Matter kidnapping. These dudes, they have no idea. Hang on, let me see if I can bring my sister up there on the split screen. There she is, Anoa.
What's up?
Let me bring you on the stage properly. Hang on a second. You need that. Where is it? There it is. All right. Let me slide over into the shot. Anoa, thanks for joining me. What's on your mind? I've been ranting. You know, you shared a tweet with me that was hilarious. What's up?
Couple of tweets. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Because since my setup is I never really used Skype, so I wanted to make sure I actually had everything. I'm like, is my microphone? I know my other camera's not connected. This is just a regular laptop. But hi, everybody. I just want to say before I get into, because I think I have an old school Noah rant in me. But I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who rocks with the Progressive Army, because in one form or another, either me, my brother Michael Graham, just like Ben, all of us, like it's been people just coming real mad crazy as of late. And I honestly do not care. I do not care that people had their feelings hurt, that people thought they could trust people and then they turned on them. That's life. Get a damn clue, buy a vowel.
Wait,
it is no reason to come and start shitting on other people's work that you don't even know anything about.
Hang on. Anoa.
Look at their website.
Anoa, hang on. Only reason I'm cutting you off is because I know what you're talking about, only because we've been talking about it all day. But what are you talking about? Tell my audience what you're talking about.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about crazy, what's her name? Crazy old lady from Canada. Canada for Bernie.
I want to call names. I don't like calling names on the show, but just generalities.
Okay, Ben doesn't like calling out names. I like to call out names, but that's okay, because if you become one of my Patreons, you get a weekly edition called Tea Time with No, and I spill all the tea. But anyway, so this is so today apparently Progressive Army, and for those that I'm surprised at how people were not aware that Ben started Progressive Army, but Progressive Army, the Progressive Army blog, progressivearmy.com, we reference it all the time. Progressivearmy.com, great blog. Our managing editor Salam Marcos, our producer David Grossman. Excellent job. We have a great team of researchers, writers, editors. You know, we have contributors. Some of you all, as our viewers and listeners, are even doing op-eds for us. Like, this is something amazing that has been built, and this has been self-funded internally by members of the group. By Ben started it out of his own pocket. Other people have put in a little bit when they could. You know, people have done work, but we pay for this by doing the work ourselves, right? By building out something that's great. And, you know, go check it out, progressivearmy.com. You've probably seen it. I'm surprised at how much our articles get shared. You know, shout out to Nina Turner, because every time either Mike Redwine or Michael Graham, one of them writes an article about her or something else, she's always sharing it. So, I mean, we get a lot of love on the Progressive Army blog, and we get a lot of love from you guys on our shows. So I just want to be positive for a moment. But
now go be petty.
Not go be petty, because you know I'm a Gemini, stay on the friendly side. Like, look at you, like somebody's friend just died. Like, yo, people, they trying my life right now. But as the kids would say, but like, no, seriously. So what happened was, like, you know, there's the article that came out earlier, like yesterday or whatever, that Keith Ellison is saying that he wants to reinstate Obama's lobbyist ban. So and there's been talk since he announced his run about, you know, what his connection is to George Soros or the Soros family, you know, donations from like a PAC that's funded by his son or run by his son or whatever. So someone quoted one of my tweet about the story. And again, Ben and I, a lot of people do this. We might tweet something out for information purposes only, not because we're endorsing or supporting. You know, I had to actually go back and put in my, like, you know, tweets or retweets are not endorsements. So she's like, well, you know, he just got a check from Soros. I said, really? Where's the link for that? Well, that's so in her response, she shares information from another person who does not know how to engage people and likes to throw around false accusations without facts. But so then today, I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. This is one of them Pizzagate people too, right? So I'm not going to sit there and argue with. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, we don't argue about Pizzagate.
Do you, boo? Do you? Yeah. Like, that's what you believe? Okay, fine, whatever. But then you come back into my mentions to prove me wrong when I wasn't even talking
with
to you.
One of our articles.
An article from the Progressive Army, written by Salam Marcos. If you follow me on Twitter, in my profile, it says I'm an editor at large of the Progressive Army. You're sharing an article to prove me wrong from my blog. Oh, I didn't know this was your personal blog. It's my blog, like it's my family. Like, that's my blog, that's my workplace, that's my family. Those are my people. And do you not even pay attention? Who who are you talking to? Do you not even know who you messing with? Like, I mean, I don't think you really understand who we are. Like, you know, we can talk about this, the progressive movement and this, that, and the other, and we got to make sure. Yo, your purity tests are like a modern day poll tax. Like, seriously, you stressing the system out, because it's hard in a motherfucker being progressive while Black right now, because I got so-called progressives attacking me on a daily damn basis at this point, accusing me of dark money, taking money from Soros. They talking about my people. You know, like I don't think y'all understand. Like, and I know y'all got stuff going on, right? For y'all who are patrons of Ben, or for those of you who are starting to become patrons of me, you know, seriously, we appreciate you so much for believing us and rocking with us so hard, for real. Even when you don't agree with us. I can't remember who it was that left a comment like, I don't agree with anything you guys said to this show, but good show anyway. Like we appreciate that. We don't gotta agree, but you will respect me. You won't respect my conglomerate. That's all there is to it. And this person, she goes on this whole tirade. So when I was like, well, that's my blog, but it doesn't say what you say. Like, you said Soros gave him a check. That's not the same thing as a PAC that raises money from other people. So, I mean, I'm not arguing about transparency and influence. I absolutely agree on those points. But it's the lengths to which people go to make an argument and over-exaggerate a position that turns me off. I'm not going to listen to you when you're on these hyper-puritanical, tirades, and you're not even dealing in the world of actual facts.
Okay, all right, let me jump in.
Stuff that's not there.
Let me jump in there. Only reason I want to jump in is because I want to make sure people understand the relevance of this conversation, right? Because it was surreal, right? I've been accused. Okay, let's start here. And you've said it, Anoa, but let me just make it extremely plain.
Make it plain.
Everything that you see from the Progressive Army, from my show to Anoa's show, to Brandon's show, to Nick's show, to David's articles, to Michael Graham's articles, to Salam Marcos articles, Everything.
The Pamelas,
Pamela
like
Elaine
Andre.
article. Andre's writing his butt off. I can't even keep up with Andre.
And Andre
Raven.
works 2 jobs, like ridiculous hours.
Everything.
And has small children, like a lot of people in the Progressive Army.
I mean, and they've taken on the Progressive Army and they've given it a life that I could never have given it myself. But I want to make it clear, everything that you see from us is 1,000% self-funded up until the point we got patrons, right? Now we have patrons and it's paying for itself now. But people have consistently accused us of taking, and I don't really give a shit about the accusation. I actually think it's funny, of taking money from Soros or who's their funder, or they have dark money. I'm like, listen, 2 things. If Soros sent a check, I ain't seen it yet. But what I'm not going to do is allow people to pigeonhole our progress and our success from delivering the messages that we deliver to the people who depend on our messages. We're not going to let you pigeonhole that with your purity test. Let me make the record clear. I don't have any money from Soros, but if Big Daddy Soros wants to write the Progressive Army a check, I would take his check and show all of you that we do what the hell we want to do, how we want to do it. Our message wouldn't change if I got money from the Koch brothers. Do you think I won't take a check from the Koch brothers and get on television and talk about the Koch brothers? They would just be mad at me. Which means I'll never get a check from them, obviously, right? but we've had these constant, incessant accusations that are flying around because I think what it is, Anoa, and then I'll toss it back to you, is that our influence has outgrown our revenue stream for what we do. Like, we don't make any money off of what we do.
We have no revenue stream.
The revenue streams, that's our patrons. We don't make any money off of that. It pays the cost of what we do. And yet our sphere of influence, just because of raw talent. And I'm gonna wag it's a poor dog that doesn't wag his own tail. That's what my pastor used to always tell me. God bless him, he's dead now. But he used to always tell us this. But I'm gonna wag our tail. The reason our influence and our sphere of influence has reached so far out beyond our revenue stream is nothing but raw talent and commitment. The fact that everybody from me all the way to Raven to Andre, after we get off work, hell, while we're at work, we sneak a few minutes in to do something for the Progressive Army. And we're out here grinding the revolution the best way we know how, and it's in this digital space. And so, yes, we have relationships with people that they don't even understand. How do you have a relationship with X? How do you have a relationship with Y? You know why? Because we grind, we invested in ourselves, and we're just talented as shit. I can't help that. Go ahead, Anoa.
But we know how to talk to people. We know how to talk to people. And I know it's like, why are these people trying to talk about this? Because this is a problem that continues to happen, right? This is how we end up having to defend the stupid accusation of the alt left or whatever, right? This is the type of behavior that certain, people on Black Twitter, or Black people who supported Hillary Clinton, or other people were able to point to this type of stuff to prove why, legitimate arguments, legitimate conversations, because there is a legitimate conversation that needs to be had about transparency, right? There is a legitimate conversation that needs to be had about progressivism and being able to move forward and communication and things of that nature. But when you're not even trying to build or work with us, when you're not even contributing or doing anything to sit here and demand receipts for stuff, I don't have to prove anything to you. If we owe anybody anything, it's the people who continue to invest in us and engage with us and work with us on a daily basis. If you got questions, there's nothing wrong with answering them. And the problem for me is these are people who actually have contact with some of us on some level, but will continue, even when they're proven wrong, to double down on problematic rhetoric and disregard nuance. And I don't care. People keep saying, well, it's understandable because people's feelings have been hurt or people are paranoid. I don't care how paranoid you are. You can be paranoid all you want to, but you will respect me. That's just plain and simple. And the problem is, and I made it, and I apologize for this if it made someone else feel some type of way by pointing out, there are people who are large content creators.
Yeah.
Right. And they make money doing what they do. And they're good at what they do. right?
Yeah.
But no one is sitting there spending their days trying to figure out where they get their money from or what they're doing or who's funding them or whatever. It's insulting. It's really insulting when the question, and they're just like, well, we just asked a question. No, you didn't just ask a question. You made an assertion. You're insulting because all we have is our integrity as a progressive army.
That's it.
As a progressive army brand, all we have is our integrity. All we had is our word. Our word is bond. That's all we got. That's what we've been building on for a year now.
Yep.
Right? That's all we got. That's what we do. You know, we take time away from our families. We have people who are working with us, who are writing, who are hosting shows. Everything. You know, my dad, like to listen to someone talk about for 2 days now over 2 different projects that I'm working on. You know, I'm taking dark money or this, that, and the other. Or I'm getting paid, or I'm a paid agitator. You know what? My father is on disability right now because he has cancer, and my stepmother is picking up extra shifts, and I'm not even in a position to help pick up the slack for my parents, but I'm taking dark money. People don't even know what the hell they talking about. We got progressive army family members who got sick family members and hospice and all types of stuff right now, but we still grinding it out every single day to make sure we bring you some type of content, whether we're touching your lives through our videos, through our articles. So this is as much as me being upset for me personally in my own life, for my whole squad, because we go hard all the damn time.
We go hard on
and
the paint.
we can get petty. We're human.
Yeah.
But what the problem is with this notion, and we keep seeing it happen with this whole, oh my God, Soros. I wish y'all got as upset about Saban and the way he does things with all his money, because that's a real dangerous mofo right there. When you were so willing to double down and shut down on constitutional rights, like you willing to suspend the First Amendment, all about your one precious issue of Israel and labeling everything as anti-Semitic, that is a threat to everything. But no, and you not even, do you check your toilet tissue? Because you know the Koch brothers own basically like every damn product like on earth right now. But you're such a purist, like seriously, the purity policy just gotta stop. I understand about having standards, and if you don't want to rock with us, that is fine.
Yep.
You don't have to. It's okay. I respect your decision. But to come and to continue to drag people into our mentions and stuff, harassing us about something that's not even factually, well, we read that the Progressive Army
was funded by
Soros.
money.
In the same tweet that you're tweeting out a Progressive
There's an
Army
article. That was classic.
Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And but my point though for everybody is you need to call it out. You need to shut people down and you need to call it out. Stop rationalizing, oh, we just all need to get along, all this division. No, this is bad behavior and it needs to be called out. Just like we call out Hillary supporters and their bad codependent ass behavior, these people who make the rest of us look bad, we need to call their asses out. Because the paranoia is undermining everything that we all do.
Right. It's the behavior pattern. Anoa, you hit on the head. So it's I can't say that I take it personally up until the point that I see it's hurting my crew, right? When I see my crew get upset, I take it extremely personally. But other than that, it doesn't even faze me. But I understand it phasing our team members who put so much sweat equity, like that's all they have. Everything, and I have to say this again. Everything that you see from the Progressive Army has been nothing but sweat equity, with the exception of the last 6 or 7 months where I've had an influx of patrons. And you know what? We don't have to justify anything, but I want you to understand the magnitude and the quality of our work is 100% commitment to the work. That's it. That's it. I know people who do the exact same thing that I do and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing it. You know how I make my money that I make? I go to work in the mornings. I work. I'm a consultant. I actually was really, really talented at what I did in corporate America. I left my corporate job, and now I'm just a freelance consultant and make bank. That's how I pay my bills. And I'm not saying that to be a martyr. I'm saying that's how committed all of us are. Like, my story is just replicated in every single person that works for the Progressive Army. Now, we are not going to be anybody's martyrs. Watch and see. I think I might just apply. Just because you think we do, I might apply for some money from George Soros. How about that? And I'm going to bring the check on the show, and I'm going to put it up, because you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to ask other people who work with me and work for us to sacrifice all of their life just because I'm the dummy and I sacrifice and work 14-hour days. I'm not going to ask people to keep doing that. Anyway, all right, the point I was trying to make is actually, even though I don't take it personally, until I see my team getting hurt, and then I take it personally. The thing is, this is a actual problem that hinders the overall progressive movement. This is not just about the Progressive Army, even though it has been personalized to the Progressive Army. This affects the entire progressive movement because it causes paralysis. We cannot move forward. We cannot get funding to do. We can't get funding to do because every method of funding is considered some type of evil, nefarious plot from Soros. Dum, dum, dum. You know, and it's that type of idiocy that strangleholds progressive movements and keeps them from being able to actually make progress. And as long as we keep self-sabotaging like that, we're always going to have run down, tired people who got off of working 8-hour, 9-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, and then came to write an article or then came to do their show because people are burning themselves out because they're that committed. We're not the Progressive Army. We're not going to keep doing that, but we have to stop doing that to all of these other organizations that are trying to make a difference the best way they know how and to be constantly berated. And again, come see me because I just have the energy for it. I'm the one. Bring it to me, but they don't bring it to me because I'm just sitting waiting for it because I'm petty as shit. But they come to you guys who get affected by it, and then it becomes a big mess because I hate to see that. But we undermine our own movement, and then we're stuck. We're stuck in neutral, not getting anything done. Anoa, I hate to cut you off, but we're almost out of time, and Brandon wants to jump in. Go ahead and get some last
You are
words.
fine. Let Brandon get in.
Okay, you got everything off your chest?
I did. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. I think the audience, it's my pleasure.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, Anoa. Anoa Changa, everybody. That's my road dog. Like, I roll with Anoa. I roll with Brandon. I roll with my crew. Brandon, you call in to the Skype number and bring in your video. That's my crew. A person I forgot to mention, like, I don't have to do this because he never asked for it, but the guy who works with me at the studio, Max, I mean, he's committed to the cause, and he's more level-headed than me, so it's a nice counterbalance, right? I'm crazy as shit, and he's just very even-keeled, and we rationally argue about things and come to some good insights, but he does it out of commitment, right? So it's like, I don't, whatever. It's people, man, people. Brandon, are you there?
I am here.
I have audio, but I don't see video. What's up?
Oh, can you not see me?
No, they can't see your beautiful face, Brandon. What's up?
Oh, well, they are missing out. No, I just heard Anoa speak on, the bit of a kerfuffle over purity as it comes to funding and all these other things. And I mean, I don't have any integrity. That's why I roll with you guys, because you keep me in line. But I don't understand. Okay, I do understand. Like, people really want you to be martyrs for their cause in a way that they are not martyrs in their own lives.
Right.
And I think that's a little bit problematic. I understand that it's projection, though. It's a little bit of projection. It's the idea that, well, their professional life is problematic, or they feel like it is, and they don't live their morals. So in some way, we have to live their morals for them.
Yeah.
They want to live vicariously through our struggle. And it's like, I'm not down with that. But I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do find the proliferation of corporate money throughout the media to be a problem.
Yep.
And building money. I mean, I think the consolidation of the media that occurred under Bill Clinton was one of the worst things that ever happened to America. Was one of the worst things that he ever did. But at this point, I think people are sort of barking at shadows. Like they're chasing shadows, and they're largely doing it to, I don't know, maybe they're just projecting their own guilt about the way they live their, the fact that they work for Halliburton, or that they support problematic products, for lack of a better word. And so we don't get Soros money. I wish we did. And if you're getting Soros money and hiding it from me, Ben, like, I swear, if you are hiding that Soros money.
Listen, my bad. I did get that one check, but it was only like $25, so I don't think it really matters. I'm joking.
That one rebate check. No, but seriously, can we get some Saban money? I always wanted to be a Power Ranger.
No, listen. No, we're actually asking now. So somebody show us how to get Soros money. I mean, we should change that Islamophobic song Arab money. They got Arab money. We should change that to Soros money and make that our theme song. Brandon.
Yeah. No. I agree. There's lots of or Money Ain't a Thing by Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri.
Yep.
But so like I agree. Funding is an important issue. Dark money, as it pertains to the DNC and a lot of other, these amorphous nonprofits, is a problem. But paranoia is never justified.
Mm-hmm.
It's like paranoia is never justified, and a lot of times, use your common sense too. If the message you're hearing from a place is good and you like it, and it seems to be in line with both your ideology and the facts as you are able to track down, then where the money comes from really shouldn't matter. Like that's kind of a logical fallacy.
Yeah,
it's like you're saying that, well, if the origin of this information is inherently problematic, regardless of how true what they're saying is or how much I like it, I cannot enjoy that information. It's like we don't get paid per viewer who watches our videos, so. It's irrelevant. Like we have to start thinking more critically about these issues.
Yeah.
Like we know why the dark money itself, the money itself is not the problematic aspect of the DNC being funded by corporations. It's what they do with that money. It's what that money buys.
Right.
If the corporations who are funding our politicians did not ask for anything in return, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the issue is that money is being used to buy votes, is being used to silence opposition, is being used to suppress progressivism.
Then
so
that's
money is just
yeah. Yeah, I mean that
Money's
means it was never in them legitimately to be progressive in the first place. Money doesn't really change you unless you just had no center, right? Don't get me wrong, like somebody who is this? Like I used to listen to this preacher, I don't listen to him anymore, but I used to listen to Creflo Dollar, and he said one thing money does, it amplifies who you are. Right. So as soon as you get money, if you were an addictive personality type person, your money is going to just enhance your addiction. You don't suddenly become a new person because you have money. It just amplifies everything that you've always wanted to do. So take that and draw it the direct line to the Clintons. It just really shows you this is who the Clintons really were. Now you got video. Okay. As soon as they got the money to be the type of Democrats they wanted to be, they went headlong into being it. So, that's all. Go ahead, man. I'll let you get the last word.
Yeah. So like my issue is simply this. Don't
move over.
The
to
money
your left
is an issue.
Move over to your left a little.
My left. Okay.
Yeah. Right there. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. The money, dark money in politics is an issue, not because of the money inherently, but what the money is being used to buy. And so, if your problem is the money itself, that is one thing. I agree we have to get the money out of politics, but let's also understand that the issue is that money is being used to buy votes.
Yep.
Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Like it's what the money is being used for.
Oh, you went biblical on them. Go ahead.
I did. I only know like 3 biblical quotes, and that's one of them. So let's be a little bit more critical. Like I'm asking people on the left to be critical because as we've seen in the past 8 months, the left is a little bit less critical than they thought they were.
Yeah, that's true.
At least Democrats are. Liberals are, Democrats are. They're a little bit less critical, a little bit prone to, conspiracy theories. Let's not have Soros be the Russia of the left, or let's look at the product.
Yeah.
Let's look at the product. Let's look. The funding is important, but if you're saying the product is bad because of the funding, I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to say, hey.
Well, that's it, man. I mean, I just wanted to give you guys a chance to air our grievances, if I can, take that from Rand Paul, because it really, I guess it does strike a nerve. Like again, and I'm not saying this to make it seem like I have such thick skin, but I think the reason a lot of people follow me is because I have thick skin, and it comes with the territory, right? And I think we just. I like what Dr. Amina said in the chat room. Like, we don't even have to discuss this anymore after tonight. We're going to take this video, we're going to chop it up, and anytime somebody has anything to say about our success, we just share this with them. But I think it was good. I wanted to give you guys a chance to get it off your chest, not only on your own personal behalf, but on behalf of all the people who contribute to the Progressive Army and do so much, and to all of you who do that and just give your time and your sweat equity, and you make the site. You make the Progressive Army something that bigger than what I could have ever done by myself. Clearly, but you've given it a life and you've given it an identity, and most of all, you've given it a voice and a platform to actually be doing something positive enough to get attacked. I think that's how I look at it. If I'm not getting attacked, I'm not doing my job right, and that's why it really doesn't get to me. And because I'm a callous troll myself, so you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I expect it to come back to me because I'm a dick. I expect people to treat me like one. But it comes with the territory, and as a progressive army grows and gets bigger and has even more influence, oversized influence, then we're going to get even more. Like, we haven't seen anything yet, right? We think they haven't gotten a load of us, but I'm just let you guys know, like, we haven't even seen trolls yet. Like, we haven't seen a legion of people coming after us just because we open our mouths. Yeah. And that's, I'm actually looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be, I think I can speak for all of us. And I mean, I'm gonna try to. We do this because we want to make the world a better place. We do this because, in a certain way, we're ideologues, and we do it to help people. And we do it because we enjoy doing it. It's fun for us. And ultimately, if you're one of those people out there who are going to be paranoid about where our funding must come from, that's kind of flattering.
Yeah.
It's like, like they think that we have like this, this is a funded operation. We're doing funded work. I mean,
dude,
like that's flattering.
That's the biggest takeaway. That's the biggest takeaway for me. Like, people look at what we're doing and like, they must be getting funding from somewhere. Wait till we actually do get funding. Like, what we do now. Go ahead.
They think that we're so good that we must be getting paid for it, and that's flattering because I wish that were the case, Ben. But
hey man, I got you, man. I got you, man.
But yeah, I know you do. But my meanest statement of the night would be this: like, if you are going to sprout conspiracy theories and about us being funded by Soros, you send him an email and tell us that he should fund us. But no, you can also just like not watch too.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you could go somewhere else. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think a lot of this is flattering. I think it's flattering that we think we're getting paid because we're good enough. But I think it's also flattering that they like us so much that they are worried about us being corrupted by dark money.
That's flattering. I think
it's flattering. I think people really, really like us, and they're worried about us changing. Because let's be honest, I'm going to speak a little. The past 6 months have been hard for progressives out there in terms of a lot of my favorite shows. A lot of my favorite shows let me down during the primary season. A lot of my favorite shows let me down during the general election. A lot of my favorite shows have let me down in like the past after the general election with this Russian nonsense.
Yeah.
But I think that if you think critically and you look at the product that we are, let's, for lack of a better word, putting out there and selling, you would see that we are not in line with those other people who let you guys down.
Yeah.
We're not in line with them. We were always very critical of Hillary Clinton, both during the primary, during the election and after. I don't know where she is right now because she's kind of going all Bigfoot on us. Basically she's only seen in the woods by hikers and talked about by conspiracy theorists. So she's kind of going all Bigfoot on us. But it's kind of flattering. Like, I'm a little bit flattered by the fact that they're worried about us changing and letting them down, like everyone, like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But that they don't let your not insecurity, but don't let your fears become paranoia, and certainly don't project us. Don't start seeing ghosts where they don't exist. They don't project that fear onto us. Trust. Give us a little bit of trust. Like, we're not going to sell out to anyone who you wouldn't sell out to.
Let's okay, yeah. So what's your magic number, Brandon? What's your sellout number? What's the number to make you let's do it on two levels, right? And I'm looking up. I'm probably confusing my audience. Let me look at the camera. So you have a sellout level where you'll go mainstream, right? So you got an offer from MSNBC. What's the number? And then you have the sellout number that makes you change your entire way of thinking, right? Or what you say. And let's say Fox News. What's your number for MSNBC and what's your number for Fox News?
Is there really that big of a difference at this point? They did hire Mika Brzezinski and Gretchen Carlson. Mika, Santa Claus's white kids deal with it.
Megan.
They hired they hired. Sorry, that's my mistake. They hired Megan. Santa Claus and Jesus is white kids deal with it. Kelly, And Gretchen, I don't know what
I
she's
mean, there's
done.
a
I'm assuming
distinction.
she's bad too.
There's a slight distinction between MSNBC and NBC, but overall, your point stands pretty strong. Yeah, there's no difference.
Well, so how much would I for like to be on MSNBC?
To be on MSNBC and still talk about the same progressive politics you talk about without changing your message, just go mainstream.
I wouldn't be on there for very long.
Nope, me either.
No, I'm enough to get that first check.
Listen,
I would say
I will play the game for about 3 months and slowly but surely make sure everybody know I'm keeping it real. And then one day I'm gonna be like, listen, this is who the fuck I've always been. This is who I am. Y'all can take it or leave it, and that will probably be my last night.
So I'm not gonna bullshit you. I think everyone has that number where they're like, oh yeah, I wouldn't do X for anything less than $1 million. And then, but then when they see that check. Like Nick Cannon said about why he was in that movie. Why he was in that movie about him playing the undercover cop at a college.
Yeah,
at a boarding school.
Yeah, I remember
he
that
was
movie.
like, well, white men write big checks. So for me, for MSNBC,
you don't have to say it. It was kind of like it was a rhetorical question. You can answer it if you want to.
no, 300K a year. 300K a year for MSNBC. Like that, that's like my legit answer, and it's only that high because I know they have it to pay me. Like 300K, and I would,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even need the money. You know what I want? I want the I want the followers. I want the email list. I want the subscriptions, right? Because I can make my own money off of that. So I don't think I actually have a number, but I want every bit of followers that I would get in that 1 month that I would be on MSNBC, because I could build off of that. Give me an email list. Sell me, if you want to know my number, give me an email list of 1 million legitimate emails for progressives, and I'll go mainstream for about a month until they put me off, because I'm incapable of saying. See it happen.
Pull a jank.
Yeah, I'll pull a jank, right? So that's the thing. Like, people see it happen in real time on my show, where I'll say something and I think about what I said and I have to take it right back because I will challenge myself right on the show. You think I will? Anyway. So I'm with you. Extend us. Go ahead.
The Fox answer for the Fox News.
Oh yeah.
The Fox News answer. This is a hard one for me because like Fox News is a lot like Alex Jones. I ironically think that Alex Jones is a false flag by the CIA. That's my conspiracy theory. I think that Alex Jones is a CIA spy put out there to spread disinformation to the public, and keep them inactive, and so they don't challenge capitalism. They see, because nothing keeps people from actually attacking the system and like calling their congressmen better than telling them that the world's actually controlled by 5 people meeting in a smoky room in the Himalayan mountains wearing like burning owl skulls or whatever they do. But Fox News is so distasteful because I don't believe most of them are racist. I just think that they like making money. And so so if I were racist, I would be on Fox News because okay, well, yeah, this is just where I belong. But there's something extra distasteful about people who know what they're peddling is hate, and they do it even though I know that they know it's wrong. And just to go a bit of a side thought, that's why I never really gelled with Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, because they really they were very, very friendly with Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And Bill O'Reilly, I don't think he's racist, but I think he is a really, really disgusting individual, because I know he's playing a game. It's like I know he's playing a very, very gross game, and in a way he's playing a game that's grosser than Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is just playing crazy. His conspiracy theories aren't super racist. They're just but most people know he's crazy. But Bill O'Reilly has a mainstream audience. They're old as hell, but they're mainstream.
You're doing a lot of talking though. What's your price? What's your number?
Yeah, sorry. Oh no, I don't think I could do it. I think that it would I think that I would hate myself to a degree that I that would not even I have a limit for I'm chaotic neutral alignment, so I can do a lot of stuff, but that's just me hurting innocent people for the sake of making money.
I'm trying to think, is there any scenario that I would want something from Fox News enough to actually do it? I don't want their email list. I don't want their audience. I guess if you ask me if I wanted their money, I think I would last half an episode on Fox News. So whatever half an episode gets me, I'll take it. That's it. That's my number for Fox News. So, all right, man. Listen, I've gone over 20 minutes, and I gotta get back to the crib. Get some last words, man.
I'm always bad at this part, which is
Or you can just tell them where to find you.
Oh yeah, cash rules everything around me. Cream gets the money. Dollar bills, y'all.
Good night, folks.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebенjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support the Benjamin Dixon Show. It's Ben Dixon! If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/the BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.